Our programs include many languages. Please log on to our program schedule for more details. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes comprennent des émissions en plusieurs langues. Pour de plus amples informations, consultez suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Unsere Sendungen werden in vielen Sprachen ausgestrahlt. Den Sendeplan finden Sie unter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Secret is just learning the truth and remembering that we're human beings, and the human beings by definition is being human, being humane, and we just forgot that. And so it's really just about remembering what we truly are, and that's what's happening is you see this whole consciousness finally remembering, oh yeah, that's what we called ourselves. We called ourselves human beings, and then everything just fits together. And it's really as simple as that, so just learning the truth and sharing it.
Kip Andersen, the daring filmmakers revealing truth and sharing light. Part 1 of 2, coming up next. Hello, kind-hearted viewers. I am Dong Kai-Li from wondrous and vibrant Tainan, Taiwan, also known as Formosa. The benevolent and friendly islanders wish you joy and wellness. Today, we're honored to introduce to you Mr. Kip Andersen, the co-director, producer, and writer of the documentaries Cowspiracy, The Sustainability Secret, and What the Health. Mr. Andersen is the founder of AUM Films and Media, an entrepreneur, as well as a certified Jiva Mukti and Kundalini yoga teacher. Like many Americans, he adopted the dietary habits from his family without question. Kip's awakening journey began after watching the Academy Award-winning documentary, An Inconvenient Truth, which features former U.S. Vice President Al Gore's campaign of informing people around the world about the imminent threats of climate change. The solid facts and catastrophic impacts in the film led Kip to start following all the advice of the major environmental organizations on how he could best help the planet. He later discovered that animal agriculture actually creates more damage to Mother Earth than the entire fossil fuel industry. But none of these groups he studied were talking about this. With the shocking truth, Kip tried to contact these organizations to ask them why this was the case. After months of waiting, he realized the only way he could find the answers was to take a camera into these groups' headquarters and ask them personally. So Kip, along with his co-director Keegan Kuhn, whose films raise awareness on social justice issues relating to the environment and animal and human rights, started this major film production titled Cowspiracy, The Sustainability Secret.
Do you think there should be any concern of us making this documentary?
Of course. If you don't realize right now that you're putting your neck on the chopping block, you know, you better take that camera and throw it away.
It's an environmental disaster that's being ignored by the very people who should be championing.
Let's look at the fundamental problem here.
No one wants to talk about it. Because they're membership organizations, you know, a lot of them. They're looking to maximize the number of people making contributions.
The leading cause of environmental degradation is...
We need to address that as well.
It's not up to the Department of Water Resources.
Hard to actually target like one thing.
I don't necessarily know what it is.
There's suppression and mismanagement of information everywhere it abounds.
It starts at the local level, but then it goes all the way to Congress.
When you consider the devastation it's having on our planet as well as the oceans.
And we're in the middle of the largest mass extinction of species in 65 million years.
And they can dictate the federal policies because they have so much political power.
And one of the largest industries on the planet with the biggest environmental impact, trying to keep us in the dark about how it's operating.
That's the one thing no one talks about. Everybody goes around that.
Unfortunately, we are no longer able to fund your film project. We had a meeting, and due to the growing controversial subject matter, we have some concerns that we have to pull out.
You're going up against people that have massive legal resources, and you have nothing.
A lot of people just keep their mouths shut because they don't want to be the next one with the bullet to their head.
I don't know that I would want to comment on that.
We'll take a moment to write in our gratitude journals about all the blessings we've encountered today. When we return, we'll have more on this inspiring documentary. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Loving viewers, welcome back to our program. The documentary Cowspiracy, The Sustainability Secret was premiered in 2014, and with the help of its co-producer, award-winning actor Leonardo DiCaprio, was streaming on Netflix in late 2015. The film uncovers the most destructive industry facing the planet today and investigates why the world's leading environmental organizations are too afraid to talk about it. The film has achieved great success. Not only has it raised an important issue and brought it to light, but has also provided the most effective and simple solution for everyone to follow.
To feed a person on an all-plant-based vegan diet for a year requires just 1/6 of an acre of land. To feed that same person on a vegetarian diet that includes eggs and dairy requires 3 times as much land. To feed an average U.S. citizen's high-consumption diet of meat, dairy, and eggs requires 18 times as much land. This is because you can produce 37,000 pounds of vegetables on 1.5 acres, but only 375 pounds of meat on that same plot of land. I also learned the comparison doesn't end with land use. A vegan diet produces half as much CO2 as an American omnivore, uses 1/11th the amount of fossil fuels, 1/13th the amount of water, and 1/18th of the amount of land. After adding this all up, I realized I had the choice every single day to save over 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forested land, the equivalent of 20 pounds of CO2, and one animal's life every single day.
If we all, as a society, did go vegan and we moved away from eating animal foods and toward a plant-based diet, well, what would happen? If we didn't kill all these cows and eat them, then we wouldn't have to breed all these cows because we're breeding cows and chickens and pigs and fishes. We're breeding them and over and over again relentlessly. So if we didn't breed them, then we wouldn't have to feed them. If we didn't have to feed them, then we wouldn't have to devote all this land to growing grains and legumes and so forth to feed to them. And so then the forest could come back, wildlife could come back, the oceans would come back, the rivers would run clean again, the air would come back, health would return.
Renewable energy infrastructure, such as building solar and wind generators all over our country to reduce climate change, I mean, that's a pretty good idea, but it's projected to take at least 20 years. And at least minimally $18 trillion to develop. It's important to realize that we don't have that long of a time frame. We just talked about how it might be a 3 to 4 year time frame. So we don't really have 20 years, and we really don't have $18 trillion to develop these. So another solution to climate change, we could stop eating animals, and it could be done today. It doesn't have to take 20 years, and it certainly doesn't have to take $18 trillion because it costs nothing.
Some people say, well, let's fix CO2 and then we can worry about the methane. Well, it's the other way around. It actually makes sense. Do something about methane because you get a response right away.
Quietly and unmistakably, the most powerful thing that someone can do for the environment. No other lifestyle choice has a farther-reaching and more profoundly positive impact on the planet and all life on Earth than choosing to stop consuming animals and live a vegan lifestyle.
Secret is just learning the truth and remembering that we're human beings, and the human beings by definition is being human, being humane, and we just forgot that. And so it's really just about remembering what we truly, truly are. And that's what's happening is you see this whole consciousness finally remembering, oh yeah, that's what we called ourselves. We called ourselves human beings, and then everything just fits together. And it's really as simple as that. So just learning the truth and sharing it.
We are sincerely grateful for Mr. Andersen's selfless effort and courageous action. Please join us on our next episode where we will learn more about Kip Andersen's second documentary, What the Health, and his current projects. To find out more about Kip Andersen and his works, please visit aumfilms.org, cowspiracy.com, whatthehealthfilm.com. Welcome to part 2 of our program with Kip Andersen, co-director, producer, and writer of the award-winning documentary Cowspiracy: The Sustainability Secret, and the award-nominated documentary What the Health. Kip's second documentary, What the Health, was released in 2017. Like many other Americans, Kip's family has a history of diverse illnesses with loved ones suffering from diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. He was always concerned that one day he might get one of those diseases. So he took multivitamins, exercised regularly, got enough sleep, and followed all the large health organizations' suggestions for preventing diseases, until one day he found out that eating processed meats actually increased the risk of getting cancer, and it's just as dangerous as smoking cigarettes. But none of the health organizations talked about it. What the Health follows the filmmaker's steps to uncover the secret to preventing and even reversing chronic diseases. It reveals and investigates why the U.S. nation's leading health organizations don't want us to know about the truth. With the help of medical doctors, researchers, and consumer advocates, the film exposes the real facts behind the scenes that are costing us trillions of healthcare dollars and keeping us sick.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths.
We have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country.
18% of children are morbidly obese right now. We're on par to have 1 in 3 people be diabetic in the next 25 years. That's crazy statistics.
Have this very dangerous situation.
Large amounts of these substances have unquestionably been associated with clogged arteries, high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune diseases. Absolutely, the science is solid.
We're talking life and death.
Health organizations have become co-opted. They are taking money from the very industries who are causing the problem.
There's a very strong pharmaceutical industry and lobby that has a huge stake in preserving the status quo.
We've got a $35 billion statin drug industry. Do they ever want to see that go away?
The government's in bed with anyone that gives them the most money.
These are government programs.
Consumers have no idea.
We consider it normal that a town the size of the town I grew up in gets wiped out every year. If that many people were being killed by some terrorist group in the United States every year, we would find them.
From a community standpoint, from all other aspects, we're in a state of emergency.
They care more about cooperation than do people.
They spend at least $138 million lobbying Congress.
These companies really have a vested interest in making sure that the public doesn't have information about their effects.
Any little thing that comes up, man, they beat it to death.
They're trying to silence people into not speaking out and not showing the truth.
If that's where you want to go with this, I'm sorry, I'm not the person that you should be talking to.
The European Association of Studies.
What an eye-opening discovery. All these facts that impact our health and life daily, and yet we don't even have any knowledge of them. We will take a moment to give thanks to all the filmmakers who are shedding light on these important social issues of our time. We will be right back with more on Kip Andersen. Vibrant viewers, thanks for joining us again as we continue the journey with Kip Andersen. In early May this year, we were delighted to have the opportunity to speak with Kip during the Vancouver Veg Expo, where he shared with us the goal and the reasons why he makes these films.
By far the majority of both films were not plant-based before watching it. I mean, that was the goal of, we wanted to hit mainstream and to present it in a way where it's getting out of the bubble. It's really reaching the mass media, the mass population to get together on this. So that's really the goal, everyone. Everybody knows the relationship between diet and disease, you know? So the leading cause of almost all diseases stem back to diet, and the leading cause of thriving and feeling incredible goes to diet as well. So I think we really did an effective job, and also to show that true health is not only personal health, but it's your own health, mind, body, physical and spiritual health, and also not your own health, your community's health, and then global health, like in Cowspiracy. So incorporating everything into what true health is.
Kip talked to us about his upcoming projects too.
We have a few projects coming out in 2019. A couple are left to be announced officially, but a couple of one's called 30 to Life, one is called Seaspiracy, one is another project they're working on as well now. So one's on the ocean, Seaspiracy. 30 to Life is working on with ex-convicts on transformational stories through diet and other really cool things. So a lot of stuff coming out next year. Seaspiracy is really exploring. In Cowspiracy we talk a little bit about the oceans, but there's a whole film that could be just about the ocean. So it's diving deep, literally deep into the oceans and exploring what's happening there. And then the other ones is really learn by doing, learning the truth, not only experiencing the truth, so experiencing it through diet and learning it that way, of the transformational stories that can happen personally for health and for just actualizing yourself as a human being.
Kip also contributed his appreciation to the worldwide viewers.
Just thank you for shining the light. We're all doing this together. We make the films, but those are just the tools. Everyone else is taking the tools and putting it out in the world, and just the transformation tool to take us to the next level of where we're going as human beings, to remind ourselves once again that we're just coming full circle back to being human. We're being human beings. So just remember who you are. Be vegan, make peace, definitely.
We can't thank Kip Andersen enough for his continued activism in awakening humanity to our compassionate human selves. Wishing you all the loving support as you persevere in your noble mission to raise human consciousness towards harmonious coexistence among all sentient beings. To find out more about Kip Andersen and his works, please visit aumfilms.org, cowspiracy.com, whatthehealthfilm.com. Enlightened viewers, we're glad to have your company today. Coming up next is Supreme Master Ching Hai Day is to celebrate every unconditional goodness. Questions and Answers, Part 4 of 6 on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May your day be filled with mercy, surrounded by love, always. For more details and to check out our schedule for language availability, please visit suprememastertv.com/VE and suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Pour plus d'informations et pour consulter le programme des langues disponibles, visitez suprememastertv.com/VE et suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Нэмэлт мэдээллийг болон таны сонирхсан хэл байгаа эсхийг suprememastertv.com ташуу зураас VE хаягаар орно уу? suprememastertv.com ташуу зураас schedule хаягаар орно уу?